Hello, everyone. Today I'm sharing with you outsourcing teams don't understand your product category. Use competitor analysis to make them understand instantly. This is the most common stumbling block many businesses encounter when first working with a new outsourcing team. Because the reality is often, you understand your product perfectly. You think your selling points are clear. But once the designer starts working, it's completely different. You might think, is the outsourcing team unprofessional? But the truth is often, they're not unprofessional. They simply have no understanding of your product category context. First, the conclusion. The fastest way to make an outsourcing team understand your product category isn't by talking about the product, but by analyzing competitors. Many businesses do this. Write a long product introduction. Repeatedly emphasize your own advantages. Tell your brand story, philosophy, and original intentions. But these methods offer very limited help in helping the outsourcing team understand how to design. The truly effective way to get outsourced designers to understand instantly is directly present them with the proven and effective communication methods for your product category. In other words, competitor analysis. Second, why is analyzing competitors more effective than explaining the product? Because the biggest fear for designers isn't a lack of information, but rather not knowing the industry's unspoken rules. Every product category has a set of unspoken rules. Which selling points must appear first? Which information must be downplayed? What style is considered professional? What expression is considered amateurish? These things aren't understood by listening to you explain them, but by observing how competitors do it. 3. Many people provide competitor information, but in the wrong way. First, let's clarify a common misconception. Providing competitors. Conducting competitor analysis. Common mistakes include simply providing a few links and saying, refer to this, providing a bunch of competitor images and letting the designer look at them alone. Simply saying, this sells well, take a look. These approaches seem to provide a lot of information, but offer almost no practical guidance. IV. Truly effective competitive analysis involves only these 4 things. You don't need a long document, just clearly explain the following 4 points, and outsourced teams will understand them very quickly. 1. Select 2 to 3. Representative competitors. Don't be greedy. Remember this. More competitors are not necessarily better. The more typical, the more useful. Prioritize. Same price range, same target audience, same platform, stable sales or performance. Avoid products with a very niche style or completely different positioning. 2. Directly analyze what they say first and what they say next. This is the most valuable step in competitor analysis. You can look at it like this. What does the first screen emphasize? What problem does the first 3 screens mainly solve? Do they talk about scenarios first or functions first? This step isn't about learning design, but about learning the default judgment order of the product category. 3. Mark the points you agree and disagree with. A very crucial step. You must clearly tell the outsourcing team, what aspects do you think are correct? What aspects do you not want to learn? For example, their selling points are expressed very directly, I agree. This page is too noisy, we won't go this way. Without a trade-off explanation, competitors will simply copy you. 4. Clarify. Are we following the trend or deliberately differentiating? Finally, you must clearly state one sentence. Are we first integrating into this category or starting with differentiation? This directly determines style bias, aggressiveness of expression, information, density. Many failures occur here due to misalignment. V. A competitor analysis. Example that outsourcers can understand instantly. You can use this directly. You can say this to your outsourcing team like this. These are 3 competitors in our category with relatively stable conversion rates. We appreciate their 1. They focus on the usage scenario on the first screen. 2. They don't have many selling points, but they are all very specific. What we don't want to learn is overly cluttered copy and overly bright colors. Our goal for this version is, first, to resemble this category, and then to make the details cleaner. This paragraph is more effective than a 10-page product introduction. 6. Why can competitor analysis significantly reduce rework? Because it solves 3 core problems for you in advance. Is the direction suitable for this product category? Which design path should it take? What constitutes going astray? Once these are agreed upon, revisions will only occur in detail expression, information selection instead of, it doesn't feel right. Let's start over. 7. A key reminder. Often overlooked competitive analysis is not a one-time event. When you find that a certain type of expression is no longer effective, you need to update the analysis targets. Otherwise, you will use outdated logic, apply current market principles. A truth for businesses that think outsourcing always lacks industry knowledge. It's not that outsourcing doesn't want to understand, but rather, you assume they already understand your product category. When you're willing to communicate using competitive analysis, instead of product descriptions, outsourcing will understand you much faster than you imagine. In short, if the outsourcing team doesn't understand your product category, don't rush to explain yourself. Do one thing first: analyze your competitors. When you clearly state what everyone in the industry says, what's the consensus? What we don't do. Outsourcing is no longer about guessing requirements from scratch, but rather about being someone who helps you streamline the design process within the right framework.